I've discovered it's not necessarily the entire technical element, it's the mental element of the technical aspect. And it's knowing that you've done more that makes you more confident. Like this weekend,
right,
Rachel Daly scored this goal that we've worked on thousands of times, thousands. You know, it's funny because it's a beautiful goal. It's with a weak foot, and she sent me a text yesterday. She went, "Remember when we did this?" And she sends me a video of us training, and it's almost a carbon copy of what she did. It's just building that belief in a player that they can go outside into a game environment and do it. And this just backs that belief up. You know, instead of just one piece of paper of belief, you've got a book of belief behind you because you've done it so many times.
Right.
Are you going to do our footwork patterns in a game? I hope not. I hope you don't. But are you going to do each element of that footwork pattern? Yes, because that's what they're created for. And that's where we get a lot of pushback, right? It's like, that doesn't transition to a game. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Like, you're doing figure eight. What are you doing? But each movement in that pattern is a game realistic movement, whether that's a pullback, whether that's outside. And, you know, we go wide, we go short. So there's different weights and everything like that. So, you know, it works for our players. We use a company called Instat, which is basically analysis. Right? So I can go into Instat's platform and search any player. So I tend to search our players. So I look at Alex and I can look at, say, Alex's last 10 games. And with like 5 clicks, I can get in to every miss that she's made.
Really?
Yeah, it is phenomenal. And from there, like, we have our own zone system inside the final third. I can download the PDF and say, right, we're missing from here.
Right.
This is where we're missing from all the time. This is the type of shot that we're missing. So let's fix that. And that it's so powerful, like the visual element, because I can look at a player and be like, oh, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, you're doing this wrong. And that's great. But they might not believe me. Now, with Instat, I can, like, we're missing 10 shots in zone 2. And then I can also send them the videos of it, just like, again, with a click, it's great. So we build from there. So without, it really is consistency.
That's people playing on the national team. Like, how are you seeing younger players or youth players? You're not really, or are you getting that off? I know in the academy, or you go and get it yourself?
No, I don't. The parents do. So then again, it's all about technology, right? Like, there's these like solo shot machines now that, you know, you put a GPS tracker on your kid and the camera will follow them around. You know, they don't have that. They've got a phone, hopefully, on a tripod. Otherwise, it's like, yes, when they score, and you're like, you missed the goal.
Exactly.
And they, you know, I've actually got a lot of youth players who use Instat as well, because I don't know the cost, but I know it's cheap. So they just upload the game and
got it. And
guys clip it up, and then it's done for the kid. Because I always said that it's very important for youth players to watch their own performance.
At what age should they start that? Because I always wonder that too.
As young as possible.
Right.
And especially if you've got it clipped out. Right, because if you've got it clipped out, so it's less than 2 minutes usually.
Right.
If you've got it clipped out, then it's literally, hey, watch this. Before the parent even speaks, watch this. Yeah. What did you think? You know?
To see something. Yeah.
And it's huge because, you know, as parents, you guys will see something. Player sees something, the coach sees something else, and every player on the field will have a different opinion on how you played.
That's right.
It's very important for you to actually see it and be like, oh, and 9 times out of 10, the player will look at it and think they played terribly, and they're like, actually, I was all right. Right? Now, it's important there because if you're going to build a development plan, you need to see it. Is there inconsistency there? Do you consistently do something poorly? Do you consistently do something very well? How is your body shape? How's the shape of your foot? So obviously all of that is very important. And again, we live in a phenomenal age. A lot of people don't like technology, you've got to embrace it, because we've got 4K cameras on our phones. We sat down a long time ago and we discussed the fact that national teams are breeding very, very good defenders to deal with players with Alex's attributes and Kristen Press's attributes and Mallory Pugh's attributes, which is, speed, speed, crafty footwork, and a finish. You look at a player like Khadijah Buchanan for Canada, like just a rock solid modern centre back. So how are you going to beat someone with speed who's just as fast as you? So we've got to. I always say with players, like, I'm trying to add to your game. And with Alex, it's like building a Lego castle. We just keep adding and adding and adding. And it's also it's a phenomenal attribute to that player, right? Because so many players get to the top and they don't necessarily think they can improve. It's polishing up, but
that growth mindset we're always
and with our in all of them, and Allie Long as well, like the work that Allie Long's put in this off season, it's frightening, and the openness to it, and I'm fortunate enough to have played a little part in their journey, and I've seen them grow as players and people. And the mindset is frightening. We train them to make goals before a game, micro goals I call them, and they're not super specific. It's not all about I want to take 10 shots, I want to take I want to score 3 goals. It usually revolves around, if it's an offense, if it's a forward, it's like I want to make an impact in the final third. If they've been working on something technical, it's I want to, if that opportunity arises, I want to take that chance. My goal is to make players trust themselves,
and that's where the confidence
on the field. We have a program called the Swag Mindset, which is delves into the mental side of it, but it's I would say it's as important, if not more important, than every other training, because we all know that one player who isn't very good, but they believe they're good. And you're like, wow, I wish I had that mindset. Anything really worth achieving isn't instant gratification, it's delayed gratification. And that's why it's so important for me to put out videos of Alex and Allie and Rachel and all these players training on their own and with me, because that is showing these players that it's not God-given. And I used to work with Kristen Press a lot, and this is before Pressy was on the national team, so that's how long ago it was. And I remember when she scored her first and second goals, the commentator said that was she's a naturally born goal scorer. And I think it was Judy Fowley, and Judy Fowley's awesome. Yeah. But that comment isn't true.
We're called I Love to Watch You Play. And so people get upset with us sometimes because we're talking about things like private trainers, which I believe in wholeheartedly, but it feels to some people like it goes against our message. And I really, as our sort of mission statement states, it's to help you survive the sandy and gain an edge. So we kind of do two things. But I did want to talk about this phenomenon that people seem so upset that we would want our kids to train with a private trainer, yet in the arts world, piano, music, whatever, like what is your frame of reference for talking to people when you're just contributing to the craziness of youth sports?
Yeah, it's funny because the way I look at it, when I first started Beast Mode Soccer, I spoke to a lot of people about it, and everyone was like, no, like that's just something that coaches do on the side, right? They do privates. And I'm like, yeah, but it's so much more than that. And now in soccer, it's exactly what you said. It's like people that contribute to the craziness. And I'm like, but no one says that in golf.
Mm-hmm.
Right? No one says that in tennis or in basketball. But I see people working with trainers in basketball all the time. And I think I don't know, I feel like the pot is like bubbling over at the moment, with the landscape of soccer. And, we've got all of this anger with pay to play and, the DA versus ECNL. And I feel like people, maybe, I don't know, maybe people are resentful that trainers are earning a living from that. And maybe it goes back to the days of, soccer in every other part of the world is a sport for everyone, right? Whereas here we say it's a white middle class sport, which isn't right. That's not true. So maybe it's just everything bubbling up, but you don't have to have a private trainer. You don't. It's why do people have private trainers in the gym? Why? Everything you need to do to lose weight or get toned is online. Everything. But you need a private trainer.
Well, your stuff is all over YouTube. You have a ton of free training.
Yeah.
It's not like you're an elite little, like no one can get to you. Like if you don't live near where your training is, or if you can't fly to LA or whatever, but starting, so there's that. But starting this month, you actually have an app now. So tell us.
So first of all, it's always going to be important that we put out content that everyone can use, because I'm more than aware that, a lot of people don't have the money, but they do have access to the internet. Brilliant. So we give quality content out there. If you go to our website, beastmodesoccer.com/toolkit, there's 6 programs in there that are free, and they're very good. And from everything I've learned in the last 8 or 9 years, it was all building up to an app, right? We've done many programs that are really good, but we surveyed people and people wanted an app. But I'm weird. So if I was doing an app, I wanted it to be the best app on the planet. Gotta be. So we started this process 3 years ago. Found a developer, fired a developer, found a developer, fired a developer. And I found a developer who could do exactly what we wanted, but it was going to take time. And we finally got it. So it's called My Soccer Training. The price point is $19.99 a month. And all the sessions are sessions that I do with players, like pro players, youth players. The players in it are Rachel, Christy Nunez, who's phenomenal, Raquel.
But for the kids, the teenagers, and who sometimes don't really want to train, sometimes they want to train. I mean, what advice do you give to parents who are kind of trying to guide that? I know I read somewhere you were like, well, it's only that they should only do it if it's really their choice. That but kids given the choice of playing Minecraft today or go to my soccer training, it's so hard to know how much to push and pull with them.
Yeah, so it's a tough one, right? Because you don't always be the villain. But it's just an education thing. And this is where I kind of fail because I don't have kids, right? But from an outside perspective, it's just reminding them that you may not be the best soccer player in the world, right? But it's important that you're going to go outside and you're going to give it everything because you want to be the best that you can be. And sat at home playing Minecraft is fine, but it's not going to make you achieve anything in life. And even if they go out, honestly, with the app, we've got 20-minute sessions because I wanted to counteract that. And the next one down is going to be 15-minute sessions. And it's if they're really feeling I just don't want to go out, do something, because those are the days that will add up. And I always say, as soon as the player sees something on the field that they've worked on, that's the day it changes. Because they'll do something they'll beat a player or their full touch will be really good. and they won't even notice it until like 10 minutes later, and then they're like, oh, what was that? Okay, brilliant.
Right.
And it kind of it switches. And I get it with video games, because it's easy, isn't it? You just sit down and you can talk with your friends on it. But it's not achieving anything. You're in the comfort zone. And we've got to be like, I'm known for being harsh with people and players because I'm passionate about it. You're not going to achieve anything if you're good at Fortnite. Cool, you can do a stupid dance. That's awesome. It's really funny. Antoine Griezmann can do that. He can sit at home and play on Fortnite because he's earning $300,000 a week.
Right.
And he goes to training for 2 hours. He probably stays for half an hour to do extra. And then that's his day done. Right. He's reached that pinnacle and he's still working. So he's got a few hours to play on Fortnite. It's cool. But at their age where they're not amazing, we've got to teach them that anything worth achieving in life, you have to work smarter and harder for it than anybody else. And we're all about like self-reflection, right? And I always say to kids, I'm like, when you're 18, you can look in the mirror and be like, right, I'm going to this college or I'm going pro and it's my fault. Right? So if you're going to the college of your dreams, that's my fault. And if I'm not going to the college, if I'm not playing anymore, that's my fault as well. Right. So you can play the blame game for so long, but at the end of the day, it's all down to the kid.